Hi there. Thanks for watching this one cool thing video on rubrics. This is part 2 on how to create a free form comment rubric. So hopefully you've watched my previous video where I talk about how to create a rubric that is the standard objective based one. I also show how to turn in an assignment on that one. So for this one, I really just want to talk about the other type of rubric, get into a little more detail. So I've created a generic assignment right here. And what I want to do now is assign a rubric to this assignment. So I've created the assignment. Obviously, it needs more detail in terms of what the assignment is. But I'm going to go down here to the bottom and I'm going to select rubric. Okay. So I need to make a rubric. So I'm going to say generic free form rubric. Now at the bottom you'll see there's these check boxes. So obviously one of the important things is to make sure you say use this rubric for assignment grading. This means that as you select points on the rubric, when you're done and hit save or submit, it automatically gives students the grade from the rubric. Okay. What's new here is this checkbox right here. I'll write free form comments when assessing students. So now it changes the format of the rubric so that I can have different criterion with a description here. So I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep it really criterion 2. So you can obviously have a long description. Criterion 1. Again, if you have your own rubrics, you could be copying and pasting here. Unfortunately, you can't import your rubric into this, so I'm sorry for that. It is a little laborious, but as I said in the previous video, any rubric that you create will be saved in Canvas for the rest of the year, and then next year you can import this rubric into the future. So you only have to do the effort once, and if it's a rubric that you use again and again, it's really, really beneficial. Okay? So at this point now, I'm good with my rubric, and I'm going to hit Create Rubric. So I should have said already that this rubric is really beneficial if you find yourself, and I know almost all of us experience this, when you're grading, how you end up writing the same thing over and over and over again. This form of a rubric lets you save your comments when you give them to students. Okay, so I'm going to kind of skip ahead. I'm going to hit Publish, and then I'm going to switch over into Student View and have the students submit the assignment, and then I'll talk about how we would grade that assignment using the free form comment. So let me skip ahead a little bit. Okay, so here I am now. The student has submitted the assignment, and I can see that right here. It says 0 out of 1 submissions graded. And so now in order to do the grading, I'm going to click on Speedgrader. And Speedgrader is where I can now use that rubric to grade them. So I'm going to click on the assignment. It'll pop up right here. So here I can see their generic practice assignment. I've just written some gobbledygook there. And there's this little slider bar which you can move left and right to give yourself more space for the rubric. And I'm going to click this button right here that says View Rubric. So now here I can see those two criterion and I'm now going to give feedback. So say for the first criterion, it's a comment that I know I'm going to give a student later on, and this happens all the time. So I'm going to write my comment 1, and now I'm going to select Save this comment for reuse. Okay. What's different here is now I do need to give the points. So say I give the student 4 points. In this one I say, great job doing blank. So I give them a specific thing that they did well, and then I say 5 points for that category, and I hit save. If I want, I can give a general feedback right here, which, by the way, there's other ways that you can give feedback. If you click this button right here, you can actually record a video of yourself giving feedback. So perhaps it makes more sense for you to give real quick verbal and video feedback. You can use these. So that's another way that you can give feedback within Speedgrader. So now, when I go on to the next kid, this is what it would look like. When I'm ready to give that student feedback, now my comment is part of a drop-down menu. So basically, as you go and you keep giving feedback to students, each comment that is worth keeping, you can check that little box saying save for reuse, and your grading will actually get quicker, because then all you're essentially doing is selecting from a drop down, and you can always add to that if you want. So each comment can be both replicated and personalized for the student. So it really makes your grading go a lot faster. You hit save, and then you know that it went through because you'll see that little checkbox. So this is a really cool form of rubric to use in Canvas, because it really does speed up the process, especially if you're one of those people that writes a lot, or if you're using a coding system because you get tired of writing the same thing over and over again. So I really encourage you to give it a try. If you want further attention on this, further explanation, schedule an appointment with me. We can meet, we can talk about it. Give it a try. So I hope this was one cool thing that would be beneficial to you. Thanks for your time and watching it, and I'll see you next time. Take care.